Hey guys, how's it going? Let's get on to reviewing the latest chapter of To Love Ru Darkness. Yes, To Love Ru Darkness. That ecchi manga, that mature manga. It's a very vulgar manga, I'm sure you all know by now. So I have done reviews of this, one or two maybe, a long time ago on an old channel that no longer exists, due to reasons, but I'll try to tone it down a bit on this video, because again, To Love Ru Darkness is a very vulgar manga. It's borderline hentai, basically. So I have to learn to control myself and keep it down a bit. I get a little too excited sometimes. Not in that way that you're probably thinking of right now, but a little too excited when I speak that I say a lot of gibberish and a lot of vulgar profanity and all that stuff. And YouTube has this new censorship type thing where, you can't really talk too openly about sex, I guess, and about content that exploits sex and, stuff like that. So I'll try to keep it down a notch, okay? This chapter starts off with the king of perverts. Well, I guess he's not really a king of perverts, but he's pretty down below of perverts, basically. The principal, that fat dude. So he basically does his assembly in the morning. You know how they're in school in Japan. They always have these assemblies in school. So he decides to do this assembly in his underwear. Yes, I mean, it's bad enough that you're a really fat man and you have a lot of this body fat going on and you have to do your assembly in your underwear. That's sure, all these 15, 16-year-old girls and dudes, they had to see that. They are 15 and 16, right? I don't even know the ages. I don't know. They never really say the ages. They don't look like they're little girls and dudes, but Japan. And guess who strides in? Nemesis has taken over the school. She stomps on the perverted principal. He likes that kind of stuff. This chapter started off really strong. To Love Ru Darkness, the plot of this is basically Momo trying to create a harem for Rito. And, it's been basically where you focus on one girl, try to progress the relationship, and then move on to the other one, try to progress a relationship in order to have them at a point where they all want to go after Rito, and then once Rito marries Lala, he's able to have multiple concubines, multiple girlfriends, multiple wives, however you want to say it. So that's Momo's plan, that's the plot. That's basically the plot of To Love Ru Darkness, building the harem plan. So, Nemesis decides to completely shatter that wall, break the ice, and says, I'm taking over the school. She didn't say that, but that's basically what happened. She's taken over the school, and she says that she wants to realize this dream. She wants to make Rito the harem king. And I'm just like, did she really just publicly announce this? Oh my god, Momo has been doing this in the darkness. Probably only one or two people know about this. And now everyone knows, probably the whole city. You know how news travels fast in this town, so this is crazy. Oh, but it doesn't end there. Because of course, you would think that a normal human being would be like, oh, what? Why would I want to be with him? That guy's a pervert. That guy's too boring. That guy's too dull. What incentive do I have to go after him? Ah, Nemesis covered her tracks. Nemesis knows what she is doing. Nemesis has promised many, many great things to all of these people who would make Rito the harem king. There are some girls on the low that are actually, saying that, oh, this is a great opportunity for you. That was a scene with Kujo Ring and her friend with the glasses, saying that, hey, this is a great opportunity for you to actually get with Rito, because, there's a lot of competition, and there's no way he's actually going to choose you. Although Ring is actually a pretty good candidate. Why isn't she that popular, man? So we get different shots of all the girls who are potential love interests for Rito, and not a lot of them are very pleased with this, especially Run. Run was like, Rito's only mine. Yami was just displeased with the fact that Nemesis is pushing her agenda onto other people. It's bothersome. I like the scene with the teacher and the nurse where she's like, oh, hey, isn't that pretty good? Are you interested in doing that sort of thing? Like, what? No, I possibly couldn't. Yami's mother being very bashful here. She knows she wants some of that Rito. She's already been in countless situations with him. The only one we haven't really seen that much of is Mikado. She hasn't really been with Rito that much, but she's just like, hey man, I'll roll with it. What do I have to lose? Really. what does Mikado have to lose in this? But of course, the one who's really displeased by this the most, I have to say, is Momo. Momo's my favorite girl, by the way. Momo's just strolling down the hallway saying that, man, Nemesis, what are you doing? Come on. Now everybody's obviously gonna run away from this fact now that you brought it to light. But remember, that isn't what happens. By the way, I forgot to add this bit that Nemesis actually declares her love for Rito because, you know, she had to make a strong point at first. She says, basically, I love him and I want to realize this harem plan that's now been brought to light. And I was like, Nemesis, what are you doing? The whole time I'm reading this chapter, I'm just like, oh my goodness, I can't believe this is happening. This was basically, you know, this needed to happen, basically. That's what she said. If something was going to change, it had to be now and it had to be done in such a way that it had to make people act. So that's what Nemesis was doing. She just went off to hide somewhere and watch all the pieces move. You know, she's playing chess, basically. So all the pawns are moving, the rook, the knight. Not precisely chess, because that's a different kind of game, but you get the idea. You get where I'm coming from. So now we get our main girls back in action, Lala and Haruna. So we didn't really get to see their reaction to this up until now. So Lala, you know, she's open-minded. She really doesn't care. She's just like, oh man, this is interesting. More girls that are coming into Rito's life. Yeah, oh well. So Haruna was actually looking for a response from Lala because Haruna only considers Lala her rival for Rito's love. We already knew from previous chapters ago that Haruna is not very fond of an idea of having a harem, of her sharing Rito with other girls, you know, because that's how a normal person thinks. You don't want to share your loved one with someone else. Because, I mean, in that perspective, you know, it really sucks. I actually am for the harem plan in this manga. I want for it to work, but when you think about it in that perspective, in Haruna's perspective, for example, yeah, it kind of sucks for her. So Haruna is asking Lala how she feels about this, like, oh man, this is pretty troublesome, isn't it? And she's like, oh, if you're gonna do a harem, you know, at least the people have to like themselves first. That's the prerequisite of this. And she's like, oh, Lala, what are you saying? Man, I wanted you to say F no. No, Rito, no harem. So here's the part of the chapter where things finally start getting spicy with our main character, Rito. So remember how I said that normally people would think that, oh man, a harem plan? Who cares, man? What am I gonna get for marrying that dude? Nemesis-chan has promised you that good things will happen if you help this plan come to fruition. We run into, I have to say, one of the most interesting characters in this manga, and the series in general. And that is Momioka. You might know her as the girl that works part-time at a family restaurant, and that got really, really close to Rito at one point, where they were both naked in the same room. Ooh, and they actually, I mean... And this was when Nemesis was possessing Rito, that she went wild. So yeah, I've actually taken a little interest in Momioka myself. I'm like, she's pretty high in the ratings, in my books at least, you know. No one tops Momo, but Momioka's actually pretty close up there. So she comes up at him and say, hey, darling, so wanna come to a space onsen with me? You know, wink wink. And her other friend is there too, Sawada. And Rito, of course, runs away from them too. Only to run into one of his best friends, actually, Saruyama. He's been there from the get-go, and the guy unfortunately has had his shortcomings on the show, but maybe this is his time to rise, you know? Every time that Rito turns into a girl, though, it's Saruyama's always after him, and I really dislike that because now we're getting into the whole gender-bending, dude going on girl that used to be dude, and that thing, it just, it makes my head hurt. But Saruyama is a good bro. He's here to save Rito. Or is he? Turns out that there are now incentives for guys who help make this plan come to fruition. They don't exactly have to join the harem plan because I think they're all in this with an open mind, so I guess girls and guys together in this. But the incentive here for the guys were that they're going to be in a group date with some hot babes from outer space. Aw, man. They can just imagine Yami, Yami's mother, and Mikado, because Mikado's also comes from space, and they're just imagining all these hot babes, and they really want some action. Come on, like, Rito gets all the action in the show. Why can't these guys get any action? So, of course, they take action, and trying to make the plan progress. So Rito manages to escape from them, you know. That's all Rito's good at, man. He's actually good at bobbing, weaving, escaping from enemies and escaping from people that are trying to attack him. You know, we've known that for a long time. So he finally manages to break free from them, and now we skip ahead. Nemesis was talking to Maya about what's going on, and she's trying to incite people's emotions, and she's trying to see what happens, because she's trying to make a change. She's trying to, you know, change things around to see if this plan will work. She actually did want to see the plan work, but she actually wanted to have other people that are interested to see what they can do, because, you know, that's what interests Nemesis. So as Rito is running, he's thinking to himself, oh my god, a harem is just impossible. Like, he's thinking everything that has happened from the beginning when Momo introduced this plan and all that stuff, and he just screams out, a harem is impossible! And Haruna, side Angie, she overhears that because she's like somewhere down there, and she's like, Rito understands. So she goes to him, and this is where things get interesting. So at this point, there's a mob of people actually trying to get Rito. Like, I mean, what are they going to do when they grab him? Are they going to just hand him over to Nemesis, like, make the plan work? Like, you know, there's steps to this, like, to actually make this harem plan work. These people are all crazy for jumping on this plan gun-ho without even thinking of a plan. Like, what's going on? Like, what are you gonna do when you capture Rito? Anyway, that's beside the point. Let's talk about what happens next. Haruna is the MVP of this chapter. She gets a fire extinguisher from I don't know where. She blasts these weebs down. They all go down. Then we have Nana. She calls in the dial with the plants, and they wreck other people. And, you know, you just have a union here. It's like a mini gathering of the Avengers to help Rito escape. Then Lala ditches the fire extinguisher. Again, don't know where. It just disappears from existence and brings them into a storage room where they fall. And, oh my god, that fall. It's ridiculous. You know, Rito's amazing falling techniques where he ends up in unbelievable situations where, I mean, damn, like, it makes you wonder, like, does that really happen? But then you jump back to reality and you remember, no, that doesn't happen. It's just anime or manga. They put a timestamp on what was happening while Rito is doing, you know, his magic. While Rito is doing his magic while falling. Alright, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to show you this, but what the heck, I'm gonna show you anyway. I have it right here. So there's a timestamp on those actions. If you can see closely right there, there's a light here that's bothering me, but it's okay. We can continue this. So we have here 0:00.12 seconds, milliseconds basically, and he has her shirt in his mouth. And then we have down there, let's see if we can, 0:00.64 milliseconds right there, if you can see. You probably can't see. And then that's him unzipping her blouse, her shirt, and revealing her bra. And then we have over here 1 second and 2 milliseconds, basically. So all of this happened in literally 1 second. All of this happened in 1 second. And I'm like, seriously, dude? And I'm not even going to show you what happened after that, you know, because that's where we get a little too intimate there with Rito and Haruna. My god, that is one shot. Wow. Oh, man. If you read the chapter, you know what I'm talking about. Jesus. Rito has done it again. Of course, the main players know that this is happening. Namely, Nemesis and Momo. Of course, my girl Momo. She knows everything. Guys, if you have been following To Love Ru for as long as I have, which is basically since the very beginning, To Love Ru, the anime, To Love Ru, Moto To Love Ru, To Love Ru Darkness, the OVAs, if you've been reading the manga for a long time, you don't know how long we've been waiting for this moment. Personally, now don't hate me for this, I've never been a Side NG fan, never liked Haruna like that, but this moment was beautiful. I really liked it. And I gotta say, a lot of people were waiting for this for a long time. Like, I mean, Haruna and Rito have already kissed. It may have been a mistake, but it happened. That was like his first time really like kissing someone like that. And you know, they were on the topic of kissing for a while now, especially with Lala. But it happened with Haruna. And finally it happens. I'm gonna show you real quick. There it is right there. And what does that read? Since middle school, I've always loved you, Yuki-kun. My God. You do not know how long people have been waiting for this confession, and it finally happened. Oh man. That was a nice shot too of Haruna right there. That actually moved me. Despite me not liking her as a character that much, not my favorite girl, saying it right now, that was a really nice shot. But wait till you see the reactions of the others that heard in on this. Right there you see the faces of Rito on top, Momo bottom left, and Nemesis bottom right. They can't believe it either. I couldn't believe it either. And right after that is where the chapter ends. But man, I still can't believe it. What a chapter that was. I was waiting all month. Literally, since the month began, since the New Year's, it was like, yes, new month, new chapter of To Love Ru. Can't wait. It's like, To Love Ru has always been like releasing sometime within the month. Either it's sometime in the beginning, like the 7th to the 10th, or sometime in the middle, like 15th to the 18th, I guess, or sometime at the end. It could have been like at the 28th or the last day of the month. But I'm always expecting a To Love Ru chapter every month. And this month, oh man, what a great chapter. Like, literally, since the beginning, since I was reading it, I was like, is Nemesis really doing this? Like, we've been having a steady, slow pace kind of environment in this manga where, you know, progressing the harem plan. But Nemesis just came in and punched that wall, tore it down, and now we have this. Now, I don't know where the manga is going to go from this. I would usually try to make predictions. Maybe I will. Look forward to a video like that soon. But, man, what's going to happen now? What's going to happen in the next issue, which is the March issue, right? Because they always, like, at the bottom, they always mention, like, stay tuned for the March issue, even though the manga comes out in the chapter comes out in February, but will appear in the March issue, so just to clear some confusion like that. So it's always the months before that it comes out in. So if it says April, it comes out in March, and it follows. But yeah, guys, what do you think is going to happen if you're keeping up with this? If you're watching this video, you probably are keeping up with the series, because, I mean, what did you come here for? Because of the damn thumbnail? Got him! No, but seriously, I really don't know what's going to be happening in this manga now. I mean, I thought it was going to continue, you know, slow, steady paced, I guess here and there, some progression happening, like always, but something had to change, and something did. Thank you, Nemesis, you have done us justice in this manga. Now I can continue looking forward to this every month. Who knows, maybe it's close to ending. I haven't seen any news about this, so maybe it could be ending in like 5 months from now. I hope it doesn't, because that's kind of way too soon with everything that's happening for it to be ending in 5 chapters, you know, monthly releases. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'm gonna try to do more of this when I can, you know. Because I love talking about this, alright? You know, I love talking a lot. That's one thing, but I love talking about this. Especially To Love Ru, if you know what I mean. Yeah, you know, just, you know, don't tell anybody about that, you know? But, yeah. Give this video a like if you like this review. I'll try to keep, you know, my reviews kind of shorter, but I just felt like I had a lot to talk about in this chapter because they're long chapters. Monthly releases, again, you know, it's not your typical 20-page manga. This was like 50 pages, so it's a lot of stuff to go over. I could have dumbed it down. Maybe next time I'll try, you know. I'll talk about the important parts only, talk about some minor points, and wham. But yeah, big chapter, many changes. This changes the game completely for the To Love Ru series. I mean, wow. Yeah, I would love to hear your thoughts about this. If you're keeping up with the manga, what do you think is going to happen? Are you for or against the harem plan? I am completely for this plan because it's like, you know, I get so frustrated watching some anime that is, you know, the tag is harem, and of course it's your typical one guy, 50 girls type thing, but it's always only the one girl that you see at the beginning that is going to be the main love interest. Almost 99% of it, that's going to be the girl that the guy ends up with. But in To Love Ru, it's been different. Sure, it was Haruna in the beginning, but, you know, then Lala came in that first episode as well. So, you know, this game is going to be different. Is the harem plan going to happen? I hope so. But yeah, that's all I really have for you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and look forward to my next video. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed. If you love To Love Ru in general, give this video a thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel, please do subscribe. Because, you know, new content coming up soon. I'm trying to keep this channel active. You know what I mean? So, with that being said, you don't have to be here anymore. That's it. I said everything. You can click away now. And, yeah, you know, you can click the video here if it's there, or there if it's there. Probably are, probably aren't. Or you can, yeah, you know,